But thank you for coming to our first session of the spring 2021 registration information sessions. This session is going to be about myths versus facts for registering for class. So, I can click through my screen here. So when you register for class, of course, the steps to register are in using Lola or online, but overall in registering, the first thing you should always do is speak with your advisor, which is me, Claude. You can email me at cmin@dcc.edu. Just include the subject advising. And with me, you will plan what classes to take for spring 2021 as well as beyond. And we'll talk about just kind of what your goals are, what you want to do, where you're going, maybe any obstacles you have. I know everyone's lives are different, everyone's schedule is different, everyone's approach to college is different. So we just want to make sure that, you're getting where you need to go in the timeline and in the way that is ideal for you. So you and I will plan together, and then finally you'll register for your classes. And if you register early, like right now, you will get your first pick of the class day, time, and format. For those of you who might be new here or weren't here during spring or in this term, the formats for CMAN and ADOT classes, we're doing all online again, given the pandemic. However, there are two different formats for web classes. If you were to search on Lola, they all say online. However, there's two different types of online classes. One is your regular online class. It's denoted by a section number beginning with a W, such as W01. And there are no meeting times for it. That's your regular, normal online class. You'll have class over the Canvas LMS. It's your very standard asynchronous online class. You will not meet with your teacher or your classmates. And there's the virtual live online class. It's denoted by a V section number like V01, and there are indeed meeting times. When you go to register on Lola, you will see meeting times listed and meeting days listed. You will be meeting down on campus, but over either Microsoft Teams or Zoom, like we're meeting right here. There will be an appointed time, an appointed date. You will see your instructor and you will see your classmates. So those are the two different types of online classes. So please be aware as you're registering for class. If you do not want one of those classes, be aware if you're seeing a meeting times. But there are options besides just, the normal old-fashioned asynchronous online class. So those are your general average steps to registering. So let's go over a couple myths and facts about registering. Since we're talking about registration right now in the middle of fall semester and we're talking about spring registration, you might be like, oh, wait, hold on. It's the middle of fall. Why are we talking about this right now? Because it's very important to register early. And a lot of people believe one of the first myths about registering is that people think, oh, well, I need to just wait until I get my fall grades in order to register for next term. A lot of people believe that. And the reality is, if I can click it, is that you don't actually need to wait. You can talk to your advisor, me, right now, determine what classes to take, and then you can register for them. Registration's open. It's been open since October. You can register right now for pretty much all your classes, except for Term B classes for spring. Those you have to wait till February 3rd for because the system decided to change that. But for the most part, you can register right now for your classes. You can have your seat secured, all that stuff. The only time where a student would potentially ever have to actually wait until grades are in early December is in the cases of potential academic suspension. If you're on probation because your GPA is under a 2.0 and maybe you've been on suspension before, the system will automatically kind of key you in for suspension for the next term until that GPA raises up again. So that's the only case I've seen students be actually unable to register ahead of time. But for the most part, you can register right now. For most students, it's not you. And regardless, even if that is you, even if you are in that case, you can still come talk to me and we can figure out a plan A, plan B, plan C for whatever your situation is. So you do not need to wait. Myth number two. A lot of students think, well, if I don't pass my fall classes, I'll be registered for the wrong spring class. So I should just, go ahead and wait and until my classes come in and then I can register. The fact is, actually, if you don't pass your prerequisite for a class that you've registered for in spring, you're automatically going to be dropped. The system's not going to let you keep going in a class that you are not prepared for. For instance, if you are in CMIN 203 Logic and Design 1 right now, and maybe you're not feeling so hot about it, um, if you were to register for CMIN 250 Java Programming 1 for spring, but you don't pass 203 in fall, the system's going to automatically drop you from 250 because you did not pass the prerequisite for 250. But what if you're feeling not so hot about the class, but you pass it, you do well? It would be better for you to go ahead and register right now, get your seat, feel confident about your spring schedule, um, and get it done now. So you're not sweating it out in December or worse, January, going, oh no, I don't have a seat and I passed the class, so I can take it now, but there's no seat. Oh no. So go ahead and register now so you can get your seat rather than hoping that a seat will still be open later. And then myth number three, um, a lot of people are always worried about, scheduling, and not just the school schedule, but your personal life schedule. People think they have to wait until they know what your work schedule is going to be or your family schedule will be next semester before you go ahead and make that class schedule. The fact is, honestly, and overall, the longer that you wait, the less options that you're going to have. That's true just logistically of what classes are available. As seats fill up, less classes are open, less chance of getting that ideal time spot, but also just in what we can offer you as a solution. The reality is you are always able to kind of switch up your classes, and a lot of times I, as your advisor, can work with you to figure out some solution to scheduling conflicts. It is light years more of an easy time for you, for me, for the instructors, for the chair, to be able to find a solution for you if you come in and you say, hey, I enrolled in this section of a class. Let's say it's, because I know right now we have CMIN 266 database manager systems. We have, I think, two options for those is going to be lined up, or maybe it's CMIN 214 Intro to C++. I'll do that one because I know there's two options of that. If there's two options of a class and you say, oh, I enrolled for this time and date, it was a virtual class, but now, I just got my work schedule, and this class is on Tuesdays and I'm working all day Tuesdays, I can't make it. Can I switch to the different section? It is sometimes, it is genuinely a lot easier to find a solution for that problem when you're already been in that class, because sometimes it's just a matter of asking the instructor, hey, you're already teaching this student in this class, but they need to move to this class. Are you cool with that? It's a lot easier to do that than to say, hey, this student just kind of walked in and said, I need a class. Can you add in a completely new seat? This student was not in any other class. So it's a little harder to kind of figure out solutions for you, ask for solutions from other people if you're coming in at the 11th hour. So best to always make a plan right now rather than waiting until that last minute in January, where everything is hectic. Make your plan now, we can adjust it as we go. Um, and that's true in a lot of ways. And then probably myth number four, as registration happens, as classes get added to schedules, as things get switched around, as people's lives happen, not every class will have a listed instructor. And sometimes instructors will change. So some students believe that, well, if not every class is listed instructor, I can't register yet. I gotta wait for my favorite instructor schedule to go up before I register. A lot of students, believe they have to go by the instructor. The fact is, like I said, life happens. So instructor schedule changes are common, they're unavoidable, and often these changes happen up to the first week of class. This is true. I and many other instructors in the CMIN and ADOT department actually had to pinch hit in for an instructor who had a family emergency. Um, None of us knew this was going to happen. None of us thought this was going to happen, and we were all pinch hitting for different classes. It happens. Life happens. Life happens for you. Life happens for us as well. Um, so when you schedule your classes, you should always be scheduling based upon your degree plan, the degree plan that you and I have hopefully worked out for you, the degree plan that is listed in the course catalog, the degree plan that you are following as a computer information technology or a cloud computing student. That is how you should be forming your schedule, not necessarily based off your instructor. While I totally understand, as a student, you want to have an instructor that vibes well with you, that you get on with well, that you learn well from. And I encourage you, if you know a course aligns with your degree plan and it happens to have your favorite instructor, by all means, do what you can to get in that class. Um, you know, I fully support that. You should be scheduling based off that degree plan because your instructor could change. Your instructor, you know, could win the lottery and say, I'm out. Many things can happen. So always try to schedule based upon your degree plans, your needs to graduate, not just who's teaching the class. And ultimately for any of these things, and all of these things, and whenever you're registering and whenever you're trying to figure out, your schedule, what else to happen, what next to do, just speak up, ask for help. Your advisor is here to help. I'm your advisor. That's my job. It's a chunk of what I am paid to do is to help you and to help figure out how to get you where you need to be going. So please reach out to the department email address, cmin@dcc.edu, and use the subject advising. It sends it straight to my direct email. It helps me sort it. It helps me get in touch with you. And always, 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 please always include your Lola ID number on any email correspondence. It makes the whole process go faster for you, for me, for everyone involved. It helps us, any paperwork that you need done. If we have your Lola ID number, it makes it go a lot faster instead of us having to wait for a response. So please do that and please speak up, ask for help. If you think it's the dumbest question in the world, don't worry. I've probably heard it 20 billion times before. It's fine. Always ask for help. I'd rather you ask for help than not ask for help and come back in at, let's say, after the drop ad date and go, I didn't know I had to do this, because that makes it very hard to assist you and get you what you want. So please ask for help. And just as a reminder, these are some important links and dates that I will drop into the chat. So again, contact your advisor, me at cmin@dcc.edu, use the subject advising. The waitlist at the Rebrandly CMIN waitlist link, that is our waitlist. It is independent of the Lola waitlist. If you go into Lola and you register for your classes, you've probably seen, X out of X waitlisted seats. That is an internal waitlist. It's for when the drop ad date, no, not the drop date, the purge date happens. But this waitlist is for us. It's for me and the department chair to look at, to determine if we need to add another section, if we need to add another class, what we need to do for you as a student if you, for whatever reason, cannot get into a class, whether the class is full, the class isn't being held, the class just isn't there. I mean, whatever the issue is, if the class is not available to you to take and you need to take it in order to graduate or to stay on track, that's what that waitlist is for. So it is very, very important that you fill out that wait list. It may seem like an extra step. You may be like, why do I need to do that? I've already told you over email or whatever reason. Please do that. It helps us be able to make sure that you can get into the classes that you need in order to keep going through school and not get, extra time added to your time here at Delgado. We want to make sure you get out in a timely manner so you can go on and do great things with your life. And then for important dates, so January 8th, 2020, that is when registration will end for online. After that point, we'll be hitting into late registration. Over that weekend, on that Sunday, on January 10th, 2020 at 12 noon, that is the first purge. That is when you need to make your payment, whatever your payment options are. Schedules, it's called securing your classes. So either your financial aid's got to be all, straightened out. You got to pay up in full or you got to enter a payment plan. One of those three options, doesn't matter what you choose, but you got to choose one of them. You need to have all that straightened out by that date and time. If you don't, your schedule will be deleted. It's purged, and you will have to get your classes back again, which may not happen if people are in the Lola waitlist, or if you just don't pay attention and then it's the end of the time. So like I said, you'd be entering late registration. Late registration goes that following week. It ends online on January 15th, 2020. On the 16th, the Saturday right after it, is when classes start. And then I believe there's late registration in person. I'm not sure, I'll be quite honest. I'm not 100% sure if they are actually doing in-person registration or if they're going to keep kind of doing it in an online mechanism where you reach out to us as advisors and we just figure something out for you. I'll be quite honest, they haven't, released that information to us yet. So to be safe, January 15th, 2020 is basically the last day that you can handle registration. Late registration comes with a fee. It's $25 fee on top of things. So do your best to get yourself registered before January 8th. Preferably get registered right now during the fall semester. The earlier you can register, the more we can do for you to help you. And regardless, make sure that you figured out your payment plan, your whatever it is, financial aid, pay in full, payment plan, your payment arrangements, get those squared away by January 10th at 12 noon. And then that's it for this information session. The next two information sessions, the one tomorrow on the 11th, have to remember what date it is, will be about transferring in and transferring out for any students who are considering, for any either incoming students who are transferring in from other four-year schools or students who are considering going on to a four-year school after Delgado. And then on the 12th, that is Thursday, we'll be talking specifically about what to take if you're a computer information technology student or if you're a cloud computing associate student. Course sequences have changed, catalogs have changed recently. There have been a lot of changes that have happened, and we actually advise a specific sequence that is not currently listed in the catalog. So that'll be a really important information session for students coming in or students who may be a little confused about upcoming changes to the catalog that you've heard about. But that is it for this information session. So I would open the floor up to any questions, but it seems like we don't have any. So if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and close up this information session. Thank you guys for joining, and I hope to hear from all of you soon.